Hi, this is Professor David Farina, and in today's video we're going to be discussing the Dawn of the Space Age semester project, and this is part 2, the post-launch mission research. This is the second video, so if you didn't get a chance to watch the pre-launch video at this point, please make sure that you go back and do that first. That being said, please make sure that the first thing you do is place your mission's name in this box so that I know which mission that I am looking at. Also, please make sure that you've included, just like you did in part 1, the official website for your mission. The post-launch mission research is just like it sounds. What I am looking for in this part is that you are going to be researching after the rocket has launched off of the planet Earth and it's now out of Earth's atmosphere on its way to its final target. Now, its final target is the place that it's planned to end up, whether that's the planet Mars, Saturn, Uranus, an asteroid, maybe it's a space-based telescope. Whatever is the target location that it is going to end up, that's what I'm looking for when I mean target. So be very specific when talking about this. The planet Mars is not sufficient. If your planet Mars is the mission, where on Mars is the question I will be asking next. So if your plan was to talk about the Apollo missions, which Apollo mission? There were many of them. And specifically, with that mission, where on the moon were you planning on landing? They had an exact location that they hoped to go to and ended up landing on. So be very specific here. How long did the mission take to get there? Space travel is a lot longer than most people realize, years in some cases. So where we start this is from its destination, or I'm sorry, from its launch to its destination. So when it left Earth's atmosphere, how long did it take to get to the final target? Provide an image showing the orbital path. This is kind of like a map down, looking down view of the solar system. If this is something you can find, it would be a really helpful thing for your audience later on to show the orbital path or the trajectory. They might use the word trajectory of your mission. So I'm in fact going to add that in here right now. All right. Why was your specific target chosen? What was it about this location that was of interest to scientists, and why did they choose it? Is your spacecraft or people, if people are on board this spacecraft, are they at any sort of risk? Is there a hazard that we should know about? If you're entering Jupiter, for instance, there are massive amounts of magnetic fields that can do havoc to the spacecraft's instruments. So something you might want to plan for in advance. We want to know, what were those plans? What did they do to mitigate the problem? Once your mission reaches its target, how are we going to do the science? What is the science that we're going to conduct? So this is a really helpful one. What steps were necessary to prepare the spacecraft to do that science? List the type of spacecraft you are dealing with. Is it an orbiter? Is it a probe? Is it a lander or a rover? Is it some sort of a telescope? Be careful, as it says here. This may be more than one. Sometimes they had an orbiter and a lander. Sometimes they had a lander and they had a rover. So you want to be as specific as possible, be as detailed as possible here. Remember, this is 25% of your course grade. Insert an image of the spacecraft, and in this, try to include as many parts as possible. You can certainly make this one be an artist's rendition, a diagram, a technical drawing, anything you feel helps your ability to explain this to others. what are some scientific objectives? I only have 4 bullet points here. You should use as many as you need. This is the concepts that I am going to be looking at most closely. This is a science class, and I'm expecting that there's a science component to this. As I said in the part 1 video, I don't want a historical overview. I want technical specifications. I want you to be as clear as you can to describe this in a scientific way. So this scientific objectives and findings needs to be highly detailed, and it needs to be highly researched. All of your words in these documents need to end up being your own words. Do not just copy and paste here. Make it yours. And if you are going to cite, make sure that you're quoting anything that you're copying, but do not make it all copy-paste. List and describe the key scientific discoveries of your mission, both current and past missions only. So if you're doing a future mission, this may not have the ability to be answered because we don't know what we've discovered. How has or will the objectives of this mission help us in our efforts to understand the Earth, the solar system, and the universe? So why did we do this? How does it fit into the big picture? Is this a puzzle piece of a larger puzzle that we are now closer to solving? Or how have new questions been formed as a result of this mission? There might be new questions, a new puzzle. That would be excellent, actually. Scientific instruments. So does your spacecraft use remote sensing, some sort of orbiter, probe, or telescope, or does it actually land somewhere? Is it in situ? Does it land on the surface and conduct its science by touching and feeling and smelling and tasting what this environment is like? The scientific instruments on board. This, once again, is not an exhaustive list, and your mission may or may not include all of these. It's likely it won't include all of them. You, once again, should try, if you can, to add as many additional ones as you have. This should be an exhaustive list of your mission's scientific instruments. Please use their actual instrument names and give me full descriptions of what it is they do. Cite all your sources. How do these instruments help scientists? What's their ability as scientists now to study this planet, this comet, this asteroid, whatever it is the target of our mission is? What are these scientific instruments specifically doing to help the scientists to understand things more thoroughly? Mission team. Who are these people that are actually doing the mission? Who are the scientists? Who are the engineers? Who are the managers? How many people worked on this project? What was the organization that actually is running the mission? A lot of times the mission is built by one group and it's operated by a different one. It's not always the case, but it's oftentimes the case. Insert a picture of the crew. If it's a human mission, like the Apollo missions, I want to know who are the astronauts. Who are the people who are on board? Describe who those people are for human missions. And once again, we are done with post-launch mission research. If there are any questions whatsoever, please feel free to contact me. That's what I'm here for. I want to answer any of your questions that you may ask, and look forward to hearing from you. Thanks a lot. Hope you have a great rest of your day.